Joining us now is criminal defense attorney Alexandra Kazarian to talk a little bit more about what this all means for Baldwin. So Alexandra, what exactly is involuntary manslaughter? What kind of criminal repercussions could he face?
So involuntary manslaughter is a killing that happens within either a criminal act that is less than a felony or within an act that isn't criminal but is inherently dangerous and where precautions weren't taken. So here, he's not being charged with actively trying to kill her or harm her. What he's charged with is creating an unsafe environment or allowing an unsafe environment to exist, which then led to somebody's death. So it's not like a murder where you could be facing life in prison, but it does absolutely have the implications of prison if he is convicted and if he's found to be very culpable, if there are aggravating factors that are found, then he could be charged with the maximum, which could be anywhere up to 10 years in prison if you're adding the allegation of having a weapon.
In your professional opinion, do you think these charges against Baldwin are warranted?
So if you were just looking at an actor who took a gun from a weapons expert and fired it where they were supposed to be firing it, in that situation, I don't think they would be warranted. But here, Mr. Baldwin was an executive producer, and according to the reports about the safety standards that were on set, there seems to be there were a lot of complaints by the staff. Actually, so many safety complaints surrounding the use of weapons in this on this set that a lot of the crew actually quit when their concerns weren't addressed. And this happened after that. So if it was just an actor who took a prop from an expert who was supposed to make sure that it was cleared, then pointed it where they were supposed to point and fire, that would not be the situation where somebody would be charged. But here you have an executive producer who was responsible for making sure that industry standards were used in making sure that the crew was safe.
So what are the next steps for Baldwin now that he's been charged? Legally, what comes next?
Legally, he will show up for his arraignment. He will plead not guilty to the charges at that time. He'll be given all of the discovery, which is all of the reports, all of the investigations in the case. He and his lawyer will review everything that they have. They will do their own investigation. They will make sure that they have interviews from everybody on set so that they can prepare. Then they will have a preliminary hearing, which is where a judge decides whether there's enough evidence to move the case forward towards trial. If the case survives the preliminary hearing, then they prepare for the actual jury trial, where a jury of 12 people have to decide whether there's enough evidence to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he's guilty of violating this crime.
Thanks so much for joining us, Alexandra Kazarian.
Absolutely.